I just got back from my business trip, and the whole goddamn house is empty. What the frick is going on?
Oh my, you're home. Well, long story short, I cleaned the place out. The last thing I have to do is put my cheating husband out for the garbage truck, and then I'll be done with the house cleaning. When my husband heard me say this when he came back from his vacation, that was also an act of adultery, by the way. He was shocked and speechless, and to finish him off, I told him another truth that would positively render his life is a miserable mess, and my vengeance would be complete. My name is Crystal. I am 27 years old, and I work at a nail salon. I used to live with my husband, Warwick, who worked as a chef in a restaurant. The restaurant is a popular, nationwide chain that's managed by a well-known company, and the salary is pretty good. We only got married last year, and we didn't have any children yet. But we were both working hard to prepare for a future life together as a happy family. We both worked in the service industry, so it was difficult to find a day we were both free and available to spend time together. But when we somehow managed to find a whole day to spend time together, we would go on little trips. I was looking forward to those little trips more than anything. The simple fact of taking the car, driving perhaps a couple of hours to a nice sightseeing spot while talking about anything and everything, stopping at a nice local place for lunch, and seeing lots of amazing things with the man I love is a feeling nothing can ever best.
I got 2 days off next month. If it's not too far from here, how about we go to a spa resort? I think we both deserve a nice, relaxing time after more than a month of hard work.
Wait, really? We're going on a spa trip? All right then. I'll ask my office if I can take a day off. I'm so excited. That's how we cherished our time together as a married couple, and this time meant so much to me. But 6 months into our marriage, Warwick's attitude started to gradually change. Hey honey, so you don't have work tonight either?
No, I don't, darling. I'm going out for a drink. I'll be home late, so I'll be eating out tonight.
You also took a day off of work last week to go out for a drink. Is everything all right with your job?
Oh, everything's fine. I just can't keep working all the time, you know. I don't know. I suddenly feel a lot more tired, and a good amount of rest and leisure always does the trick.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I'm also getting pretty tired these days, too. How about I go out with you on your next day off? Is that okay? Oh, I know. We can go on a day trip. We didn't take one of those in a long time.
A trip? That's too much trouble, honey. If you want to go, by all means, but I can't join you. I'm still pretty busy after all.
My husband's passion for his job began to slowly wane, and he started taking more days off, claiming that he was feeling burnt out and needed some more time to cool off. He used to try to make it work with my own days off, but he eventually went out by himself more and more frequently. He started going out drinking especially frequently, and on the days he came home late, I could smell a strange perfume that I didn't recognize. Hey, what's that smell? Is that actually a woman's perfume? What the hell are you doing when you go out?
I always drink with multiple people, you know that. The hell do you think you are, jumping to conclusions like that so damn quickly? Shit, I'm tired. I'm going to bed, right?
Hey, we're not done talking yet.
I repeat, I'm going to bed.
I began to have a hard time wanting to be with him. As a way to distract myself from my husband's suspicious behavior, I'd become so absorbed in my work. December is a very busy season for the nail salon where I work, because when a lot of women come to take off their fall-themed nails and order Christmas-colored ones to replace them. And believe me when I tell you that the number of orders we get is absolutely insane. As their nails are being done, our customers brag on and on and on about their Christmas plans. Some sounded legitimately wholesome, like a mother of 4 children hosting a fancy dinner at home with her husband, parents, and other members of her family. Others sounded honestly a bit like the woman was condescending to me because she could afford such a plan for Christmas. For instance, This Christmas, I'm going on a dinner cruise with my boyfriend. Could you do my nails to match my dress here? That's wonderful, Mrs. Collins. What do you think about this design? And it wasn't just her. I'm planning a trip with my boyfriend. We're planning to travel to Canada and to go stay at a B&B at a ski resort in the Rocky Mountains. The color of this particular design is just the way he likes it, and I'm sure he'll be so happy to see me look so good on our trip. Your boyfriend is such a lucky guy, Miss Landon. To be honest with you, when I hear about all these customers and their wonderful Christmas plans, I can't help but feel envious. My husband hasn't told me anything about our Christmas plans, which meant that as far as I was concerned, I had absolutely nothing planned for the holidays that year. But things went from bad to worse. Right in the middle of December, perhaps 10 days until Christmas Day, my husband suddenly told me that he was going on a long-term business trip. The worst part was that he was going to leave that weekend, and the trip would last beyond Christmas and beyond the new year, all the way to the 3rd day after the year turned. A business trip? You work as a chef in a restaurant, honey. How can you go on a business trip outside of town?
There's a restaurant in another city that's pretty short on staff right now, so headquarters personally asked me if I could be sent to support them.
Is that so? So it's a busy time of year for all of you people in the food service industry, huh? Which city? Which restaurant?
Which city? Which restaurant? How should I know? The company takes care of a lot of restaurants across the country, Crystal, and many of them are pretty understaffed all the time. I'll only know the day before I leave for the city. It could basically be anywhere.
Anywhere is such a vague term for a business trip. Are you telling the truth, Warwick? Are you really open during the New Year holidays?
Shut up! You're so damn annoying. Work is work, and there's nothing I can do about that. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Do you have any money?
Wait, what? Money? I was confused when my husband suddenly started talking about money.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not very liquid right now. And when I go on a business trip, I have to pay for transportation. How much money do you have right now?
I was in disbelief when I heard Warwick say this load of bullshit. If it's a business trip, his company should pay for it. It's simply not right to pay out of your own pocket. And what's more, the fact that he was so broke in his savings that he didn't have enough money to pay for a business trip, and that he felt he had no choice but to ask me, something's definitely fishy. You don't even have money for transportation. Haven't you been spending a lot of money lately, Warwick? Are your savings okay?
Leave it the frick alone. You shouldn't give a shit about how I spend my own money. That is my freedom.
What are you talking about? I'm worried about you because you sound like you're so broke, you feel the need to come to ask me for money.
I'll pay you back as soon as I'm reimbursed with the fees for the business trip, right? Just shake a leg already and fricking give me the money that I need. Damn it.
I was fed up with my husband's refusal to listen to my warnings. I took all the cash I had in my wallet out, and my husband quickly took the bundle, much to my surprise. It was as though he was trying to snatch the money away from me. Now hold on just a minute. It's gonna be hard on me if you take that much money.
Well, too bad. I'm taking it because I need it more right now. Well then, we're done here, and I'm going to take a bath.
I watched as my husband walked to the bathroom without ever thanking me about the money I gave him. A burning sense of resentment began to bundle inside my gut. I was beginning to feel that this marriage might have been a huge mistake. I began putting away the clothes he had taken off and left behind on the floor outside of the bathroom. I suddenly felt something like a piece of metal that was entangled in the fibers. I felt it more thoroughly, and now I could distinguish it as a sharp, curved piece of plastic, perhaps about 1 centimeter in length. I found it. As I unraveled it from the clutches of the polyester, I realized something. Oh my God! This is a piece of one of those nails that my salon designs for customers! I wonder why this is on Warwick's clothes. I examined his clothes more carefully, and I became horrified when I discovered something else. On the zipper of his pants was a barely discernible smear of unnatural colors. The fact that it was consisted of red, white, and green hazes gave me the strong indication that the source of these was from the same nail polish used on the broken one I'd found earlier. Why did it horrify me so much I felt my teeth clench so tight it felt painful? The fact I found the colors right on the zipper of my husband's trousers meant the owner of these nails had caught her nails right in that location. When does a woman's hand even go near a man's crotch? Well, now you know why I wanted to destroy an entire wall right at that point. There was no damn way a woman who had a normal, friendly relationship with my husband would do such a thing. All I could think in that moment was, I knew it. I knew he was cheating on me. Perhaps my own love for Warwick had already died. I would never suspect such a treasonous act from him if I truly loved him still. I put away the broken piece of nail into a small Ziploc bag and stashed it away in my handbag. The owner of these nails would surely come back to the salon to repair her broken nail. The next day, I asked the receptionist at work to go through the list of clients scheduled to come in today. Hey, do we have any customer with an appointment today that requested for a repair? A repair in a nail salon is exactly what it sounds like. It's kind of an appointment customers can make in the event their nails were damaged and/or broken. Yes, ma'am, there is. And they designated you as the repair staff, Mrs. Xavier. Here she is. I checked the design number of the nails I had served this particular customer, and sure enough, it was without a doubt exactly the same as the broken piece I found on Warwick's clothes. All that was left to do was double-check to see if the shape of the broken piece matched what would be missing from the customer's nail. Eventually, the time for the appointment with one Mrs. White approached, and my client showed up right on time. She looked older than me, and she was cocooned in glamour with brand-name clothes and accessories, and with a frankly ungodly amount of makeup, especially around her eyes. She was kind of flashy, but she was also admittedly gorgeous. It's been cracked here, see? I'd like to have it put on more securely. I'm so sorry, Mrs. White. Today is still within the limits of our 7-day warranty, so the repair fee for today will be free. The missing piece of the nail on the customer's fingertip looked very similar to that piece of the nail I found in Warwick's clothes, while Mrs. White was looking at her cell phone, scrolling through what appeared to be Instagram of expensive brands like Gucci and Chanel. I took out the piece from the Ziploc bag and put it on the nail that was exposed. It was a perfect match. I confirmed that this was the woman who had put her hand on the zipper of my husband's pants, and I was more sure of it than anything else in my life. I feigned normalcy, and as I began to work on repairing her nail, I tried to figure out some of the details. A lot of people who order this nail design usually go out to attend an important event, or perhaps a romantic vacation somewhere. Do you have any plans for the end of the year yourself, Mrs. White? As a matter of fact, I do. You seem to know a lot about women. I must say, in my case, I'm spending New Year's at a luxury hotel, and I'm going to attend a countdown party. That sounds so nice. A party at a hotel? Yes, indeed. I don't know if you know the Anaconda Hotel, but that's where I'll be staying, you see. Every year, perhaps a whole week, they have an amazing live music event featuring the most popular musicians, and there's karaoke, ballroom dances, and even a disco. It's a very prestigious event, and I've been wanting to attend it for far too long. I'm happy to say that after more than 10 years, I'm finally able to experience it all in its glory. That sounds so nice, Miss White. You're gonna be with your husband, I presume? Yes, I am. Wonderful. You two must be so in love. Oh yes, we are. Based on the membership card of the salon, I eventually found out that she was indeed married to another man. I already knew her full name, Annika White, but I also found out her age, 36, her phone number, and even her address. I was shocked to find out that my husband had been having an affair with a married woman. My feelings for my husband had cooled down considerably, but I felt sad and frustrated. I wondered if she was going to go to this prestigious event with my husband. By this point, with how neatly things fell into place up until then, I think it was safe to assume she was. If so, I knew I had no choice but to divorce Warwick, and it broke my heart. The day before my husband left for his end-of-the-year business trip, I went to an end-of-the-year party myself through the invitation of a coworker of mine. I had a great time with my friends from work, and it gave me the energy to take action for divorce. The next day, I had the day off, and I literally slept until noon. I felt sluggish from all the alcohol I drunk the night before, and what was more, it was my first drink in quite a while. I didn't have a hangover, but I didn't have much of an appetite either. While my husband was getting ready to go on his business trip, I didn't want to see his stupid lying face, so I closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep. Before he left, he told me,
"You better finish the end of the year cleanup, Can't begin a new year with a house in chaos and shambles."
"Don't worry, I'll take care of it, and I mean all of it." This was our last direct conversation as a married couple. Later that evening, I was about to go shopping, and as I began to hold my bag, I noticed that something doesn't feel right. Wait, what? Why does it feel so light? The length of his shoulder strap is different too. This is not my bag. It looked like the same product, but it definitely wasn't mine. I scrambled to search my memory of last night. It was most likely a mistake that I made at the last tavern where I hung out with my friends. I called the tavern immediately. "Excuse me, I was wondering if there had been a mix-up with some bags from yesterday. I have a bag that looks exactly like mine, but it definitely isn't mine."
Yes, we've been expecting your call, actually. I'm sorry to bother you, but could you please come to our establishment for a few minutes? There's another person here who took the wrong bag, you see.
The kind receptionist told me that another customer of theirs had contacted them, saying that she may have brought home the wrong bag, even though it looked exactly like mine. I hurried over to the tavern. Upon my arrival, I was taken to a room that looked like an administrative office. The woman who had accidentally taken my bag was waiting for me in that room. When she saw that I had brought my own bag, which was actually hers, she looked relieved. But when we checked each other's bags to see if all our belongings were where they should be, her expression turned grim. "I'm sorry, but my wallet isn't in here." My bag was in order, and everything was where it was last time I checked. Unfortunately, the other woman, whose name was Miss Robinson, claimed her wallet was missing. "Oh no, your wallet? I didn't know. I didn't touch anything in the bag. I swear, I didn't touch anything in your bag. That's the last thing I would do." "I'm afraid an I don't know nothing simply won't do, Mrs. Xavier. My wallet is the only thing that's missing." Next thing I knew, I was in the center of a circle of what felt like cold contempt. The clerks present, and the women all looked at me with suspicion. I was upset. "I swear on my life and on my humanity, I didn't take it. I didn't touch anything in the bag. I didn't touch anything in the bag. You have to believe me." "I'm sorry, but I'm calling the police." "What? The police?" The woman got upset and called the police. That's when my phone rang. The caller was my husband. With shaking hands, I answered the phone, not knowing everything would turn in my favor right then.
"What the hell? You finally pick up the phone."
"Warwick, I can't talk long. I'm in a bit of trouble."
"It's okay, it won't take long. I forgot to tell you that I owe you a wallet. I forgot to tell you in person before I left."
"Wait, my wallet?" That's what he said, and I just realized that in my panic, I'd involuntarily pressed the button that put the call on speakerphone, and everyone could hear our conversation. The word wallet caught everyone's attention, the female clerks, the woman's, and above all else, my own.
"You know, you told me that you didn't have much money at all, but goddamn, you hit the jackpot somehow, because there's more than $1,000 in here. This is so great. I'm going to use it all. I hope you don't mind, darling."
"Warwick, don't. Listen to me. That's not my money."
I did tell you I was going to borrow your wallet. You were asleep.
What the hell are you talking about? That's basically the same as stealing.
I mean, it's a crime to steal from your own spouse, but it isn't so much a crime as to be legally punished for it. This is a permitted theft, and I'm grateful to you for approving this.
There's just no goddamn way you're gonna get away with this. What you're doing is freaking disgusting.
Yeah, Google consanguineous theft. It'll help you change your mind about the situation. Too bad, seemed like you wanted me to bite the bullet for what I did, but legally that cannot happen. Well, see ya, and thanks for the amazing allowance, Mum.
Warwick, being the cocky bastard that he is, said that confidently as his last words, and hung up. I tried calling him back, but perhaps he'd blocked all my calls. I just couldn't get through to him. During the call, a couple of police officers had arrived, and they were listening to my conversation with my husband. The cold stares of the people around me had somehow turned to a complete 180, and now everyone, the officers, the clerks, the woman from whom I was accused of stealing a wallet, looked at me with pity. I apologized to the people around me. I felt so sorry for my husband that tears started to spill down my face. I'm sorry, everyone. My husband has done something terrible that inconvenienced us all. The police officer, whose badge read Officer Callahan, asked me.
This is about the incident of the wallet that was reported to us, I'm assuming. Am I correct in concluding from the content of your phone call with your son that he took your wallet without permission?
He's my husband, officer. That was just him being the stupid pain in the butt that he always is. But yes, you're correct, sir. You have my permission to arrest him. I know exactly where he is. The owner of the wallet, Miss Robinson, decided to officially report it stolen. She explained that she indeed has a lot of money inside that wallet, and that was precisely why she wanted to get it back as soon as possible. I remembered the name of the hotel that Miss White, the woman whom Warwick was having an affair with, had told me, the Anaconda Hotel downtown, while she was bragging about her little week-long vacation of adultery and unfaithful lust. I told the police about the luxury hotel. That very night, both my husband and the woman whom he was having an affair with were apprehended by Officer Callaghan himself and his team. My husband had given the wallet he'd taken to Miss White, both of them thinking it was my own wallet. They had spent an ungodly amount of cash so quickly, and since the police were now involved with a few of their customers, the two of them were refused accommodations from the hotel. They stayed at a cheap hotel for the time being, while they were questioned day after day at the police station. I was told by Officer Callahan that this particular case of theft was especially tricky, because while the concept of consanguineous theft did indeed exist and was eligible under normal circumstances, the fact that the wallet belonged to a completely different third party was the source of some doubt as to whether the system could be applicable. Later on, Warwick and White paid compensation to the owner of the wallet to keep the whole situation under the radar. The police finally let them go. After the police let him go, Warwick returned home on New Year's Eve morning and called me.
I just got back from my business trip and the whole goddamn house is empty. What the frick is going on?
It seemed like he still didn't think his affair was out of the bag, despite everything that had happened. In reality, I knew all too well. I left the apartment, which was our home, mostly devoid of everything. The only things I left were his personal belongings. All the furniture and appliances had been picked up by a recycling company, and by then, the apartment had probably looked 3 times bigger compared to when our married life was perfect. Oh my, you're home! Well, long story short, I cleaned the place out. The last thing I have to do is put out my cheating husband out for the garbage truck, and then I'll be done with the house cleaning. Warwick was shocked and speechless. I told him that I was going to file for alimony through a lawyer before hanging up. After that, he contacted me several times, hoping to get back together and start things over, but I didn't deal with all that bullshit. I also filed for alimony against White, the woman whom he was cheating on me with. She was married too. Mr. White apparently found out about the affair soon after she was arrested at the Anaconda Hotel and I heard she got in a lot of trouble. So basically, Mr. White was a frequent customer at the restaurant Warwick worked. My husband was actually having an affair with the customer's wife, and per workplace protocol, as well as common knowledge, Warwick was fired from his job. He had originally loaned money for his personal leisure and was actually a bit deep in debt, and now with the alimony he owed me and Mr. White, he felt so overwhelmed and ran away back to his parents' home, defeated and crying. He is now working for free at a diner run by his parents. As for me, I moved out of my apartment and went back to my parents' house. I'm still working at the same nail salon, and just recently, a nail design of my own invention was featured in the New Year issue of an aesthetics magazine. It was only a small article about my nail design, but thanks to it being a very professional magazine with thousands of monthly subscribers, the article attracted quite a bit of attention from women young and old. And I've been getting a lot of requests from these clients who are interested in it. There's a great possibility I'm going to be transferred though, actually. There's going to be a new branch downtown, and it's going to be open for business in about a month. I was personally asked by an officer from headquarters to be the chief manager of this new branch, and this is going to be a great opportunity to expand my management skills to perhaps open my own salon one day. I don't regret my divorce, but I do feel ashamed about the fact that I was once blind to immature people and that I had a lack of discernment. From now on, my goal is to work hard and grow to be the best person I can be, one that knows how to take care of herself, and one who can be trusted by others to do the right thing. Wish me luck.